We all crave respect, that deep down knowing that our thoughts, feelings, and needs matter. It's not just about how others treat us, but also about how we treat ourselves. It's a basic human need, a fundamental aspect of our well-being. But here's the truth. Respect starts with us. It begins with the way we view ourselves and the standards we set for our own lives. It begins with how we treat ourselves, how we nurture our minds and bodies, how much we value our own well-being. This includes taking care of our physical health, our mental health, and our emotional health. And a huge part of that is having the courage to set boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining our self-respect. Boundaries are like invisible fences we build around our hearts and minds. They protect our inner peace and our personal space. They define what we will accept and what we won't, what behaviors are okay and what are not, what we are willing to do and what we won't. They help us prioritize our time and energy. These boundaries aren't about being mean or pushing people away. They are about creating a healthy space for ourselves. They are about honoring ourselves, about recognizing our worth. When we respect our own boundaries, we teach others to respect them too. When we set boundaries, we send a powerful message, not just to others, but to ourselves. We say, I matter. My feelings matter. My time matters. My energy matters. This is the essence of self-respect. And that, my friends, is the foundation of self-respect. It's about knowing your worth and living in a way that reflects it every day. So how do we know where to put these boundaries? How do we determine the lines that need to be drawn to protect our well-being and maintain our sense of self? It starts with tuning into ourselves, really listening to our inner voice and understanding our own needs and desires, with paying attention to how we feel in different situations and relationships. It's about noticing the subtle cues our body and mind give us. Where do we feel our energy drained? When do we feel like we are running on empty, unable to recharge? Where do we feel resentful or taken advantage of? Are there moments when we feel our efforts are not appreciated or reciprocated? Maybe it's a friend who constantly demands our time and energy, leaving us feeling depleted. Or perhaps it's someone who doesn't respect our time and boundaries. Maybe it's a family member who oversteps our personal boundaries, making us feel uncomfortable or disrespected. These situations can be particularly challenging. Or maybe it's a work situation where we feel pressured to say yes to every request, even if it means sacrificing our own well-being. The demands of the workplace can often blur these lines. Identifying these areas can be uncomfortable at first. It requires a deep level of self-awareness and honesty. It requires us to be honest with ourselves about our needs and feelings. We must confront the truths we often avoid. It may even mean acknowledging some difficult emotions, like anger, resentment, or fear. These emotions are signals that something needs to change. But it's in these uncomfortable places that we often find the greatest opportunities for growth. By recognizing and respecting our boundaries, we pave the way for a healthier, more balanced life. Setting boundaries is one thing, but communicating them effectively is crucial. It's about finding your voice, speaking your truth with kindness and clarity. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about taking care of ourselves. Start by being clear about your needs. What are you willing to tolerate and what are you not? What are your non-negotiables? Once you know your limits, communicate them directly and respectfully. Use I statements to express your feelings and needs without blaming or attacking the other person. For example, instead of saying you're always late, you could say, I feel disrespected when I'm kept waiting. Section 4. Boundaries in action. Real-life examples of setting limits. Let's say your friend constantly asks you to do favors for them, but they rarely reciprocate. This can leave you feeling overwhelmed and taken advantage of. You could set a boundary by saying, I value our friendship, but I need to be mindful of my time. It's important to communicate your needs clearly. I'm happy to help out sometimes, but I can't always drop everything to do favors. This way, you ensure that your time is respected. Or maybe a family member constantly criticizes your choices, making you feel judged and unsupported. You could say, I love you, and I appreciate your opinion. It's crucial to express your feelings without escalating the situation. However, I need you to respect my decisions, even if you don't agree with them. This helps maintain a healthy relationship. Remember, setting boundaries is an ongoing process. It requires self-awareness and consistency. It takes practice and courage to stand up for yourself, especially when you're not used to it. Over time, it becomes easier and more natural. Section 5. Your turn to shine, taking the first steps towards healthier boundaries. Now it's your turn. Think about an area of your life where you feel drained, disrespected, or taken advantage of. What boundary could you set to protect your energy and well-being? How can you communicate this boundary with love and clarity? Start small. It doesn't have to be a big, dramatic confrontation. It could be as simple as saying no to a request, setting aside some time for yourself each day, or speaking up when someone crosses a line. Section 6. Embrace the freedom of boundaries. Reaping the rewards of self-respect. Setting boundaries might feel uncomfortable at first, even selfish. Our culture often celebrates people-pleasing and self-sacrifice. But I'm here to tell you that setting boundaries is not selfish. It's essential for our well-being. When we set boundaries, we create space for healthier relationships, more fulfilling work, and a deeper sense of self-worth. We start attracting people who respect our limits and who value us for who we truly are. We begin to live in alignment with our values, and that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. So, embrace the power of boundaries. Embrace the freedom that comes with honoring yourself. You deserve it.